All right. All right, everyone. Hello, it's Anahata. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me today for Cycle 6, the last mastermind meeting of our grand adventure. I cannot believe the places we've gone together, the places we will continue to go together. And I do appreciate you joining live since this is the last mastermind. And we can leverage each other's genius that way. And I don't have a lot planned. I want to make sure this final mastermind is answering any and all questions that are still on your heart, in your mind, not comfortable within your soul. Anything you want to do today, we're going to do. In addition, I want to make sure everyone understands how to connect the dots, right? The big picture between all cycles. And then, of course, next week we will do our finale. And we'll do some other activities next week. But today is going to be about really, hi Leslie, you just joined, really just solidifying everything, talking it out, sharing perhaps some things that you have done with your business that you wish you had done differently, and things like that. So, of course, we want to set the sacred space. I did so beforehand, but it's always a good time to set the unification. So if everyone could just join in, planting their feet firmly, visualizing your energy going through any building structure straight into the soil of Gaia, rooting down deeper, deeper into the beautiful crystalline layer that she has, her DNA structure, all of the information in her bones, readily available at our fingertips, or I should say toe tips. And really feeling comfy and rooted down, secure, taken care of, loved. And I want everyone now to just build your gratitude for our life, for your life, for our breath, for our joy, for our pain, for our evolution, for everything that this dimension is and will be, and feel that gratitude in your heart and send it down into the center of the earth so that the organism called Earth can receive that gratitude. We don't often think about sending love to that which gives us so much love and gives us everything we have. All right, and also gently asking Mother to cleanse away any distractions, any inabilities to focus so that we can move together today as one tribe of united Vishuddha on our path to magnificence together. Blessing this beautiful space that we have, this time together to share, to grow, to expand, to clarify, to distill. And just breathe in our unity. It is so. All right, guys. So I could just stay there all day. I don't know about you. Done. We're done. Let's go take a nap. No, but really, guys, thank you for joining me live today. This is all about you. I want to be as productive as possible. I want to get into some perhaps topics we haven't gotten into yet, because nothing is off limits at this point in time because we have gone through it all. So I'd like to start, though, by focusing in on anything that we want to talk through related to techie, right? How to do it. You may not have noticed yet, I did update the archive area for today to include a walkthrough registration forms, landing pages with the PayPal button active, how you can do that, as well as member centers. Those are big ones. But guys, Wix.com is pretty versatile. It's going to be able to handle anything that you give it. pretty easily, and it's, like I said, $19.99 a month. Now, of course, there are other options out there, and I want to share my screen real quick. If you haven't had a chance to look at the provider list links yet, you'll see that the ones that I use are in bold. So we talked about Instant Teleseminar and Zoom a little bit, but there's also other presentation platforms that you may consider. Same with the business solution platforms, the CRMs, CMSs, the email, the accounting. I am moving to Infusionsoft. I think it's expensive, but it's worth it. There are other options that are out there. Look through some of these as well. I'm not sure when I share my screen if you can see my cursor. If you can see my cursor, go like this. Oh, you can? Good. Because sometimes I go like this and I'm like, I don't even know if you guys can see. That's good. All right, good. So then social media platforms, those are just obvious. There is actually a platform to manage your platforms socially called Hootsuite, rather. And you could check that out if you want to have one place where you just log in, kind of post out to all of your social platforms. It's pretty robust. I just don't use it because I only use Facebook and LinkedIn. Facebook, I'm telling you, everyone complains about it, but I'm not having any problems with it. I actually love it. So whatever floats your boat. And then domain purchase providers, GoDaddy is what I use, but you can purchase URLs anywhere for your vanity URLs. And that, again, is where you purchase something that people will remember as your call to action, and you redirect it to your long landing page. That way they don't have to remember that, and they can find you easily, because if they can't find you easily, you are not the urgent solution and no one will purchase. Then website builders, Wix.com is what I choose to use. There's many out there listed here, and that's just 5 or 6, 5. So there's many more. Accounting, you guys are probably laughing at my totally basic, especially Janice, because she's an accountant. She's like, what are you doing? I love it. That's okay, right? Everyone starts somewhere. It's just where I am right now. And moving into my Infusionsoft, I will be getting legitimized with invoices and whatnot. But really, guys, PayPal does allow you to create an invoice and things like that. So there's other tools, and I have this folder on my Outlook that says 2017 taxes, right? And all year long, I've just been throwing receipts and things in there to give to my accountant. So anyway, I don't have, and then basically looking at my income and say, okay, this is how much I made, this is what I can take off, and go for it. Anyway, so again, it's very basic, but it works. And there are other accounting systems here, Zoho.com, Xero, WaveApps.com, etc. Also, the Business Solution tab has accounting solutions within them. So when we were talking Infusionsoft, Salesforce, Fresh Sales, all of those usually have some kind of accounting add-on within them. Some survey systems. I use SurveyMonkey. I actually discontinued the paid version, so they have a free version and a paid version, and I'm not using the paid version right now, but it's $30 a month when and if you feel like you want it, which is great because you don't have to purchase it month by month by month. You just deactivate it, and now I'm just using the free one, and if I ever need the robust one, then I can upgrade again for that month. And the reason why you want the full out one is because after a certain amount of surveys, they cut it off. But I've always been fine within that, except for one campaign I did. I had to buy an upgrade because there were so many responses. Good problem to have. All right, and then the one thing we didn't talk about before we talk about anything you want to talk about is the full out tests, is what I call them. Because survey systems, they usually limit to about 10 questions, and they're not really multiple choice or anything like that. So I have listed this testmoz.com, this is where, this is what I've been using for the certification tests. You can have tests up to 100 questions, I believe. So those are useful too for your, for those you certify if you build out a modality of your own, you know, a program that people can get certified in. So awesome. So let me just open it up. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Does anyone have any questions on Tech Month? Anything that you're going, I still don't get how to do this? Let's walk through it now. Let's walk through it together. Knowing that I did post that registration page, PayPal button, and the Member Center Hub page as well. Anyone have any questions about how to use the tools online that are available for you? And while you're thinking about that, just raise your hand or unmute yourself. I just want to stress the point that websites are not necessary. They're really not. If you're going to take the free and easy route, literally all you need to do, you do have to have a website, right? But that can be a home page that has hardly anything on it. And if no one knows that you have that web page, you don't even have to market it. Trust me, no one's going to go there. No one knows. No one cares. Especially if you press hide, you know, on the SEO functionality when you're setting up the page. And then just get busy creating landing pages. That's what you want. You want people to sign up for your Vishuddha talk, from which you're going to fill programs. And so you really just need your Vishuddha talk page, registration page, funneling them through to a thank you page, which we talked about. And then once you deliver your Vishuddha talk, however you want to deliver it, you just want to be able to redirect people to join your program. That's really all you really need to start generating income in terms of logistics. You can get fancy with all the other stuff you want to do later, but the basics of the machine to start revenue coming into your bank account is what we talked about with the landing page, the Vishuddha talk, and funneling them through to your programs. So any questions? I know it sounds, you know, when we keep piling stuff on, it's like, oh, but, you know, just take it step by step, listen to my advice and try it out. Just try it out. Just go for it. If 5 people show up, that is awesome practice, right? You've got to get practicing with expressing your medicine, and you're going to experience a match to what you are capable of, okay? This is building up your chops as a transformation catalyst. You had a question? Yes. Hold on, I think I'm unmuting you. Oh,
okay, I got it.
Good, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, I'm wondering if anybody has experience with MailChimp.
With what?
It's called MailChimp.
Ah. Do you want to share anything about that, Sarah? Here, I'm unmuting you, darling. Hold on here. Wait. I'm trying. Unmute. Boy, this is super slow. I've pressed unmute like 3 times now. Here we go, finally. Okay, Sarah, now you can talk.
Well, I'm still even learning about it because it's changed while I was out of the country. But I've always liked it. To me, it's user-friendly for me because I know there's other platforms. But I did like search for some tutorials to learn about some of the new features. Because I was almost thinking they said that they had where you could do landing pages where people could register via MailChimp, but I think you just need to search some tutorials.
Okay.
Yeah. I think part of the learning curve with me and my upgrade to Infusionsoft is getting used to the fact that they're going to be hosting my landing pages for me. I'm not used to that. So I'm building my landing pages now in their system, which to me, in case you forgot or aren't aware of this, I was put through 1.5 years of SEO boot camp, like search engine optimization boot camp at my job, as the creative director for a large company. So they taught me how to do it all based on all the algorithms that all of the bots go search, Google searches for, and all of the stuff they pull in order to rank you on the page. And really, it helped clarify a lot of things, but it also now is bringing up more questions with, oh shoot, now that I'm getting to this certain phase of my business, I do want my website to rank high. And if all I have is URLs on someone else's site, then I'm not getting credit for that hit, so to speak. So I do need to work through a couple things with my manager, the person who's teaching me, to ask, okay, so how do I get, the SEO rankings that I'm looking for if I'm hosting all of my landing pages with infusionsoft.com under that domain. So some things to think about for me that you may not even be on your radar. Yeah, I think I did work with MailChimp for maybe 2 months, maybe like 6 years ago, and I'm sure it's changed a lot by now. And I wasn't very excited about the deliverability at the time. They were having issues. I don't know. That's all I can think of, was the deliverability was lacking. Anyway, I don't really have much else to say about them. They seem to be rated well. Are you considering them?
I am, yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
It looks like Janice asked a question.
Okay, hold on. I wanted to also write down MailChimp.com. I just added that to the provider list links. Okay, who had a question?
Janice typed one in.
Oh,
I think she's working it. Did your member hub include how to have a login center?
Yes, it did. Yeah, so, one thing to really hit home is every web builder is going to have different functionality features, but they're all pretty much the same, okay? They're not going to just let you flounder around and have to learn their way or the highway. So I'm sharing my screen right now to just show you with Wix in particular, when you create a page, and they have this new button that says Manage Pages. So again, everything will evolve. It will always change. You'll always just need to just figure it out. But as long as you're okay with just diving in, once you get to your site menu on pretty much any site builder, you'll notice there's a key next to it. And when you toggle in the functionality of any page, usually in the SEO section or some type of management section of the page, it's going to have a permissions category. In this case, it's called permissions. And right now, this page is toggled to everyone. But if I were to click password holders, then it's going to ask me to set the password for the page. So that's how you do it. Again, it's going to be slightly different depending on where you're at. And guys, some of you may be going, Anahata, I can't stand technology at all. I'll never be doing any of this. And to that I say that's okay, but at least you know what you need to communicate to the person that you hire, because you will, if you're going to be hosting online events, you are going to need a landing page. You are going to need a vanity URL. You're going to need a thank you page, and you're going to need a page for people to join your program. Plain and simple. You can't really host anything if you're not offering that. Now, again, as I said, copy my stuff. Obviously not the verbiage, but if you're like, oh, I really like the way that's laid out, build your own. Have it in one screen and just copy away. I don't mind. And I'm sure there's other webinars, Vishuddha talks that are not mine, that are out there that you can learn from, how to build a great landing page, you know, etc. There's always someone talking about something you need, and you know you don't need to buy the program. You can just listen and go, great tips or not good tips, and move on to the next thing. So yes, Janice, it's in there. And any other questions? Because I do want to shift into one other thing that we didn't really talk about in terms of Techie Month. All right, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and make sure no one's, I wonder why I couldn't see that typed in question. Interesting. Trying to look to see where the questions are coming in. I don't see any. Speaker view. Huh, that's all right. Thank you, Sarah, for shouting out and telling me she had asked a question. I'm looking at all my buttons. I don't see anything.
Did you
click
on the thing? It's chat. Yeah.
There we go.
I saw that she turned her screen off, so I figured she must be working. So
yes, got it. Very good. Okay. And Squarespace. Okay, good. Squarespace and oneandone.com. All right. I'll go through these when we're done and add those because I do want to have all of them in there. Okay, so let's talk about, well, first of all, last chance, does anyone have any questions about how to do any aspect? This doesn't have to be just online. This can be in person as well, although I don't personally have a lot of experience with it. I have been to my share of workshops and meetups, and I host one every week. So I do, have some advice to give you in addition to that Word doc that I shared with you in week 2 for cycle 6, which was the in-person event checklist. But does anyone have any questions on technology in general? How to get this done? How to funnel people to you online or in person? Or issues or anything you want to talk about? All right, Kelly, I'm going to unmute you. All right, I think I unmuted you.
Yeah, you did. I was just curious, like when you do your meetup in person, do you then, like at the end of it, say, well, I host this online talk coming up and you can join me at this website, or do you hand them a card, or how do you do that in person? Like, how do you make the transition? Because you mostly work online. How do you make that transition from in person to online?
Yeah, so luckily the people that, and there's not many, I'm slowly building, there's not many that show up locally. I'm just going to try and show you that. Thought I had it here. I just, oh well, anyway, oh, here it is. I just advertised in this guy, the Englewood Healthy Living.
Mm-hmm.
It was only, I think, $200 for a full page ad. And his reach is astonishing. It's in an awesome, it's in everywhere I want to be. And so I have this full page ad now here, inviting people to my meetup. And so, yes, I do invite people to come to my website primarily to download the codes. But luckily with the meetup, it's essentially just free stuff from me weekly, because we're doing grid work. We talk about what are the needs in the group. Is anyone having health issues they want to help with codes? Is anyone having mental, emotional issues? I survey the group. So it's not really a Vishuddha talk that I'm suggesting you do. It's more of a just week by week building your chops with Anahata codes, which will lead to, oh my gosh, these are working, these are amazing. I want to know more about how they work. And I say, well, I do offer an online course. It's a 5-week course. And some of them are already getting excited about potentially becoming certified. So I kind of funnel them through, definitely. But I don't want the meetup to be about that. I want it to be of service. I want to be of service to people, and whatever is on their mind, whatever knowledge I have is what we talk about. And I do not do the Vishuddha talk structure where I'm like, here's my story, and now here's your pain, and here's my solution. Now go sign up. That's not what I'm doing at my meetup, but absolutely they will inevitably choose whatever program is appropriate for them based on their needs, while I keep nurturing this massive value, right? That they're going, oh my gosh, every week I get to come and we get to take care of this junk, and we get to help the earth, and we get to expand our minds and do all this amazing stuff. I do accept donations. So that's one good thing I want to mention is either donations here, here's $10. I really enjoyed your talk. Or PayPal has a direct link that you can set up within your PayPal account. So I suggest getting that. That way anyone can just donate, click on the link and donate. You'd be surprised. People donate for various reasons all the time. And it's so nice to just receive donations. So you do want to.
So do you bring your computer?
No,
you must bring your computer phone. Then, like.
Right. I just have my phone, and I have, well, my phone is in the other room, but hold on 1 second. I'm going to grab it. All right. So I have my phone with me, and that's it. And I have the codes pulled up on my phone. So you see, it's a little clunky, mind you, because you have to scroll across. But you see, there's the tab matrix. The links don't work, but it doesn't matter because I just scroll, across the top to the category that I want to go on, and I click on it, and it works just fine. So just having that link open, and again, to get there, you just go to the link that's in your member center, the most recent version of the codes, and then click on the document. It'll open up in your smartphone, and that works great for me until we have an app. It'll be so nice when we have an app, but that's okay. That's just down the road. I know, yeah.
Yay.
But yeah, it's been amazing, incredible. I love doing it. I highly recommend just getting out there. It's really building confidence within my public speaking abilities because, it was hot. It's hard. I get that. No one wants to be the center of attention usually, and you feel the energy, and you're just like, oh my gosh, everyone's staring at me. So the way that I suggest you get around that is practice, 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 and also share the energy, right? Really get them involved from the get-go, because if they're involved, then they're expressing energy and they're sharing that energy, and it's not about you at all. So I hope that answers your question. I do funnel them too, but it's definitely a different type of funnel.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Plus, people come up to me at the end and they'll be like, I was wondering, and then we start a conversation. So it just depends on where they're at and what their needs are. So.
Nice.
All right. So while we have you unmuted, Kelly, I would hope to put you on the spot right now to talk to you a little bit about your medicine with summits. Can you tell us a little bit and take as much time as you want to give the rest of the tribe your view on the ins and outs of hosting a summit, why you started it, how it's been going, some perhaps struggles you've worked through, things to think about, etc. I know that's a lot to ask, but I would love to hear you speak about that.
I started it because I years ago listened to Jennifer McLean, and I really thought, wow, she's got the coolest job ever to interview all these different healers around the world and help not only herself but a lot of people. Yeah. And then I got trained through Iram Said, she and her friend put on a online telesummit, how to host your own telesummit. So I did her training. And what I liked about her training was that it incorporated like a healer. Every other call was a healer. So it kind of worked through some of your fears. Because that, for me, like that was my biggest fear, is going from, I don't know, from like my small me to my big me, like being out there, like kind of being seen. And even like this actually physically being seen is a big thing to me, like, because in my teleseminar, you don't have to, be seen.
Yeah.
So it was a huge growth for me to do this. And they recommended Aweber for the sending out of emails and whatnot, and Instant Teleseminar because it's inexpensive and you can reach a lot of people. And then One Shopping Cart, and there was another one that they recommended for like instead of PayPal. I mean, you have PayPal, but it's One Shopping Cart. Well, so what ended up happening is I ended up hiring a company out of Canada who does all of the emails for me, because I'm not a techie person, and I didn't want to get weighed down by that. I wanted to just do the backside of it. I didn't want to be overwhelmed. So anyway, I hired them, and they recommended the One Shopping Cart instead of Aweber, so that I had it all in one place. So what I learned later on, though, is that, and it hasn't affected me yet because my list size isn't that big, but eventually when your list size gets big, you'll outgrow that platform. But that way, so I hired somebody to do most of the tech stuff, and so that took a lot of weight off of my shoulders in doing it. And then my experience has been like, because I had to hire somebody, like I make enough to cover their expenses, but I haven't made enough to, pay me because I'm new at this. And so like, if I was somebody like you with your tech experiences, it would be much more profitable than it is for me.
Yeah.
But again, it's my insecurity in doing all that, but behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I need some more codes for all that.
Yeah, or just go back through all of the classes and start funneling people to you, and start building your own list, and start hosting your own stuff and building your own programs.
And what I also learned, that's just it. Like, that's what I learned from Jennifer, is like, she said, you need to be more like not relying on other people. Like, you need to be your own person out there and putting your own medicine out there. And so that was a big eye opener, because I wasn't really ready to step into that position. That's kind of why I liked doing the teleseminar, because I can interview a whole bunch of different people and learn from them, and I didn't have to be on the hot spot, so to speak. And so this is taking it to another level, and that's why I signed up for this class, because I wanted to learn how to do that comfortably. And so I thank you, because it's been a good learning experience.
Good. Yeah. So with summits, I've been featured on, I would say probably 20. I'm just guessing. And it's so interesting to see how different each one is. But some of the common themes are the fact that you talk about what your gifts are, you give something free, and then you have to give a special of some sort. Usually $99 is the good range, but they like the actual package to be worth much more. And that's all fine and dandy, but then you take half of anyone that joins. So here's my advice on summits, is they are a great way for you to practice your Vishuddha talk. Just be interviewed, come at it from all different kinds of angles, really marinate in your own magic, basically. I love that for that, because it really got me talking about the codes instead of this internal contemplation. It was like verbalizing what my medicine is. It was never a moneymaker, ever. And I really feel like it's because the people who join summits to listen don't have any money. They're there to get all the free information they can possibly get from as many people as they can possibly get. And they aren't there to purchase a program, period. And so, and that's okay, because there is a need for it. And I value that, and I adore that you can go to a place and actually receive information. Awesome. But in terms of money making, you know, I think the biggest reach that I was on was 80,000, a list of 80,000 people. And I got 4 sales. 4. I was like, are you kidding me? However, if you do a good job with the, you know, filtering people to your site for free stuff, then you're going to get some people that join your list, and you never know who those people are going to be, right? So it's all a list building, getting used to your mental type of exercises.
Yes. In fact, like, that's why on my last season, I was my own guest and had you interview me, because I wanted that experience of being in the hot seat. So
yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's all a growth. It's all a growth experience.
It is. It is. The other thing to think about with regards to these summits is the fact that I feel like they can become really salesy really quick. You know, you join a list and it's always the most amazing person just was on my, and it's like, oh my gosh, over and over and over again. If you've joined some of the summits, it's like, how many ways can you say that this is so amazing? That's all you're going to be receiving is those emails. And so, you know, for that reason, it's not the best platform either, because so many people are sharing so much. And
especially like on YouTube, you can get a lot of stuff on YouTube for free. So
it's true. Yeah.
I mean, I think even Jennifer McLean stopped doing her Healing with the Masters and is now just focusing on her own medicine because it wasn't profitable for her anymore.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's a great list building journey. Jennifer McLean. I'm just writing down these notes. Yeah, and then, you know, that kind of gets into affiliate marketing, which we didn't talk a lot about, which we can talk about now for a few minutes if you want to. And I kind of mentioned it during the training week, cycle 6, that I'm just not into it. Everyone says, oh my gosh, you know, you've got to get in with these people who are, I feel like they're spamming everyone. And I don't like it. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be missing the boat. But I feel like when you're doing affiliate marketing, they're going to expect you to do the same for them. And suddenly your list is getting bombarded a million directions. And so to me, I feel like organic magnetism is the best way to go. Building an authentic tribe based on your gifts, and letting the word of mouth be the way, and letting the law of attraction work its magic, and absolutely partnering, you know, with some people that are going to bring value, that you can bring value to, rather, to their audience. Absolutely. But just think twice about it, and feel free to run anything by me if you're like, I'm wondering about, you know, this, that, and the other. It's great that we have conscious spammers, right? The content is actually really amazing, but it's still spam. So you got to really decide what you want to stand for your tribe, and what you want them to feel you as. A lot of these people, I join lists, and then it's like every day they're sending me something about someone else, and I'm just like, you know, I can't focus that far, and so I unsubscribe. But I really loved what they had to offer. I want to hear more about them, not all these people that they're pushing. Just my opinion, but so, all right. You guys are quiet. Silence is good too. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about? Yes, Glenda, I'm gonna unmute you. See here, and thank you so much for sharing, Kelly. That was awesome. I think I did it right. There we go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Quick question on what are your thoughts on offering the program out for a beta price to get more people in, to get, because I've been doing the program, kind of behind the scenes with myself and another person. But I was thinking about offering at a beta price and sending it out to my list, my small list. Just to get more feedback and get more participation, because it's really hard to test the value if I can't really get enough feedback and stuff. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that would be make the price point lower, but don't call it beta price, and don't leverage that as the sell, because I feel like people don't know what they don't know, and if they're perceiving that this is the first time you're doing it, then the value is already leaving the door. You can actually turn that around and make them feel honored and lucky to have been able to be in your first program. I feel like that's better than focusing on, hey guys, this is beta, we're just seeing what, seeing if it's good or seeing if it sticks is what it really feels like. I don't know. Let me ask you guys, did you feel like this was like going to be a beta program, even though you're the first ones? I hope not. I did not market it as be the first to ever do this. I am so confident with the value that I have to offer. I was like, no, this is going to be amazing. And guess what? You guys are going to get it at a lower price. It's already gone up to $3,000 for the next cycle. So you guys already got $1,000 off, So anyway.
Good thoughts. No, that makes sense.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, if you want to, again, focus on the problem that you solve, focus on funneling them to your program. When the CTA is apply for my program, they don't know what the price is, and you don't need to tell them. And it's more about, do I want to do this versus what's the price tag? When you are having those one-on-one discovery sessions, which, by the way, guys, I did show you how to work with the Wix platform scheduler. So when you go back and listen to the second chunk of the techie, I do go over that. So that way you don't have to worry about what time zone people are in, and if it coordinates with your schedule on the days, on the hours you want. It's much easier than you think, and it's just one link. So I go through how to do that as well. But the point is, once someone invests their time in filling out their application, which is really just that dove process all over again, right? It's like voicing their desires, expressing their obstacles, you're positioning you as the value, and then you're saying, hey, let's talk about this. Once they apply, it's up to you if you want them in the program or not, because guess what? 99% who apply are really ready to go. They have no objections. They want to do the program. So your goal would be to get them to apply, and then based on talking to them, and it's not a script at that point, you're really connecting with the person, you're understanding, is this program really going to fit their needs, and vice versa. You can perhaps think about saying, by the way, this is a beta program, and I would so love to have you on board so that you can give me feedback, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, because of that, the price is going to be lower than it ever will be, which could be a really good hook for them to be like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. But again, I don't think I would market it as that, because it doesn't matter. Let's think of a program that's $10,000 and you're going to offer it for $2,000. People are like, what are you? I still don't want it. You know what I mean? Like, people don't know what they don't know. And so you don't need to even tell them about that until it's the appropriate time for them to be like, oh my gosh, yes, this is great. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. That helps.
You are welcome. Okay, Roberta's raising her hand. Thank you, Glenda. I think it's funny. I just unmuted you and muted you. Okay, good. We're good. All right, I'm going to unmute Roberta. if I can.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, great. Hi.
Hello.
I hesitated talking on this session because, as you know, technology is not my forte.
Yeah.
However, I just kind of wanted to make a couple of comments. I started with you because you introduced an amazing technology that underlies this whole program and everything you do, which is the Anahata codes. And I was directed somehow to a telesummit, and I don't even remember who now, but something about your story, your medicine drew me. And I didn't know how to use the codes. I didn't know how to access them, but I felt they were important. So I took the 21-day Really Sphere.
Yeah.
And then I took a 21-day. And they were something affordable for me. And they also gave me an experience on how to access the codes, what they were, how to experience them without going over the hill or over the top, making a really long-term commitment.
Yeah.
But when I had used them, the underlying energy led me to more and more and more desire to learn, more and more desire
I have
to access this, more
goosebumps right now.
Yeah. So, and then what you're doing as far as talking to people about, just giving them the introduction to the codes, letting them know the value of them, letting them know your story. These kinds of things will lead people, I believe, to invest more and more because they know the value of them. So I think lots of times the biggest technology is using the codes in such a way that the right people will come to you at the right time to get the information you have to share, because as has been noted, there's so much out there. There's so much out there, and you have to be selective on how you spend your money. And when the right information comes to the right person at the right time, they're going to invest in it. They just will. So, so I think that's what really has to be the underlying message, is the desire, your medicine, and the desire to reach out to people and how you can help them, because that's going to draw them to you. Then, of course, all the other technology is going to support how you build it. Which is the value I'm finding in this course. I mean, it's something I'm going to refer to over and over and over again as my possibilities grow. So that's all I had to say. I just wanted to say thanks. And
love you so much. That makes, the reason why I got goosebumps primarily was because, guys, at the beginning of all this, it was me in my room talking to God. That was it. Which is everything, don't get me wrong. But I'm like in my own little shell going, oh my God, how incredible this is, so mind expanding. And will other people, then all these doubts come in, like, will they judge me? Will they be like, what is this? And price point was a big deal, because to me, I knew how expansive the codes were. I was like, oh my gosh, they should be $15,000, $20,000 for the book of codes, right? And I kept praying and kept getting free. And I was like, I had a hard time with it, guys. I was like, no, we're not going to do free. And then it was free. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And guys, when you get stuck, instead of just receiving the same information, ask. So it became a conversation. Why? I was like, but why should it be free? I'm open to it, but like, share with me why. And I kept getting, in various forms, they will always want more. They will always want more. They will always want more. And that was the answer that kept coming to me, was they're always going to want more. So don't worry that the actual huge thing that you have to offer is completely free, because people will want more. So I guess just remember that when you're offering your medicine, make it about them authentically. Make it about how they can use your medicine to transform their lives. And when they taste that and understand that, they're going to want more, and you'll just have many doorways to be able to say, now go through this one if you'd like, or this one, or, no, this isn't for you. That's just as awesome. Like, I hope you guys get that from Cycle 5, The Art of Mastering Enrollment. it's just as awesome when someone figures out that you're not the right mentor for them. Like, you should be celebrating, because now there's no wasted energy exchange and they can actually move towards what they're meant to be doing. And so again, there's no wrong turn. It's all a big celebration. But don't be afraid to offer free and valuable content. Just don't make it about free, right? Let's stop making it about money altogether. Yes, it's free, great, but let's make it about what it is, right? Let's not make the value of what we're selling about money or this anyway. I think it should just be about the value. And by the way, it's free, great if you get some people, but you see what I'm saying with the free word or the beta or anything like that. It's not about the money, it's about the transformation. Let's not even talk about that until it's appropriate, or until it is, they're wondering, okay, well, how much am I going to invest? Because I know I'm going to do this. And so, yeah, free is okay. Free and valuable content is okay, as long as you're not centering it around the fact that it's free, it's free, it's free, because then you're actually projecting, lack of value, etc. It's just going to be a bonus to them when they find out that your stuff is free, but it shouldn't be the priority. And so, Roberta, it just makes me so excited to hear you say that you heard it and then you wanted more and then you wanted more and then you wanted more, because that's what God kept telling me. He was like, no, just make it free, and they will always want more. And I'm like, okay. So it's good. It's good. Yeah, boy, really sphere. Yeah, 21 days are really good funnels, guys. Really good funnels. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm going to start recording when I have a moment, each of the 21 days and put them on YouTube, because I feel like I got a lot of traction hosting my 21-day Really Sphere on Facebook. But now that it's gone, it's gone. It's off the feed. It's gone. But on YouTube, I think we have this way to archive and to remain relevant based on keywords. So what I would suggest you all do is do a 7-day something, right? And make it for $50 or however much you want to charge per person. Get a little revenue coming in. Get paid to birth it. Absolutely get paid to birth it. But once it's out there and once you have it done, you can be generous with it and explore ways to funnel it, use it as yet another free and valuable touch point from which you funnel them into larger programs. I can't tell you how many people did my 21-day Really Sphere and said, holy cow, I'm going to get certified now, So just be patient and know that everything you do has a piece in the puzzle. The free stuff is going to just eventually funnel into revenue, and keep building little components and using them as kind of puzzles to see how can I arrange these in a way that meet all of these sales cycles, right? All the way down into your paid programs. And it could take someone a year and a half before they say, oh my gosh, $5,000, you are the coach for me. That's okay. That's totally okay. There's people who've been following me for 3 years who finally say, oh my gosh, it's about time I did your masterclass. That's fine. That's great. It just depends on the person. And you'll just be ready and waiting for them when they decide to jump in. So thank you so much, Roberta. I love the fact that that's how it all began for you. And now Mrs. Non-Techie has a way to actually express her gifts. And guys, I want to also reiterate the fact that this is Techie Month, and yet you don't have to use technology. You really don't. Some people would argue with me and be like, well, you have to at least have a website. No, you don't. You can have a card with your email address and your phone number, and you can make 6 figures transforming people's lives. Hosting live Vishuddha talks based on that outline and funneling them into a paid program. You never have to use technology. You don't. And you can reach people who don't want to use technology, right? People who want to have you in person in these workshop settings, or people who want to call you on the phone and do, you know, this 6-pack program that you're putting together, whatever it is. So I think we also need to not forget that it's okay if technology is not for you. This is still 99.9% applicable and a real way to make things work. So let's see, does anyone have any questions or anything you want to talk about? Let's see, no hands up. Let me go look at the messages real quick. Yes, Sarah, thank you so much. The paypal.me link for the donations or direct payments. Awesome. Squarespace. Oh, yes. So then that's it. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, someone
I have
unmuted.
a quick question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hi.
What are your feelings about membership? It seems like a lot of people are doing these monthly memberships. So what is your thought on that?
Yeah. So, you know, that's such a good question. I'm still feeling my way into it because I see a lot of transformation catalysts using it, but I don't know that it's an efficient use of their time, quite frankly. So I'm kind of feeling into it right now because I feel like unless you have a huge following of people that already get your value, no one's going to pay for it monthly. And the problem with a membership base is if there's only 5 people in the group, no one's getting any value. So it has to be kind of like you have to reach this threshold of interest before you, I think, can successfully launch something like that. Having said that, I actually am going to launch with you all that I'll be talking about next week, Vishuddha BE. And so it's like a continuation, a membership price that's low enough to afford, right? It's not like even 100, you know, it's low, so that you can go, okay, monthly, we can get on here, we can hash out our progress, we can trade templates, we can do how-tos, right? And I'll talk about more about this next week. We can be, right? The whole point is to just get inspiration and be, and sometimes do nothing, but talk it out. Type your frustration. Be annoyed that only, you know, 30 people showed up to your webinar. Whatever it is, we work through it. We help each other. So I do like memberships. I think they're cool, but I haven't really decided on how effective I think they are in terms of revenue generating, quite frankly, because the price point has to be low enough to afford, and you're going to be spending a lot of time hosting it, and it's got to be worth it, right? If there's 20 people in the group and they're spending $20 a month, that's, to me, that wouldn't be worth the amount of effort you have to actually be there for this group of people. So lots to think about. Let me know, guys, as you dive into those types of things. I think they could be good if done well. Perhaps it'll be something we explore in Vishuddha B.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I just have watched a few people doing it, and it's exactly what you said, because their list isn't that big, and so they're trying to funnel them in, but they're trying to funnel them into a monthly program, and then they receive, you know, X amount of time with them, you know, then they receive, you know, free MP3s or free this or free that, and it's all her time and their time trying to create it all and push it out there. And then she's, you know, going, but if I get 100 people, then it's X amount of dollars. She's charging like $69 a month. So it adds up quickly. But I'm seeing a lot of work behind that. And I'm just wondering if that's, you know, a good way to even funnel them in if they don't know much about you.
Yeah, I would say it's not a good way to funnel them in, because if anything, it's going to open up the door for you overextending yourself. It's much easier to define a 6-month program and charge $3,000 a piece and get 10 women in there that you're going to be like thrilled to be with, than it would be to have a low monthly membership, have to get all this work done anyway, and then risk spreading yourself too thin because of all the stuff you've told them you would give them. Because to me, it sounds like personal coaching, which quite frankly should be between the $10,000 and $15,000 mark. But this is just a membership. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. So I would just do what I have outlined for you first. Try that. Build a 6-month program. Work backwards, knowing that you want to make X amount a month. So you have 10 spots or whatever it ends up being, and work backwards into getting people to apply, getting people excited. And chances are these people who are really successful with this membership base are people who already have all the components of their 6-month program, expensive program, detailed out and delivered. Now they are willing to just pop on and do a few things for a massive amount of people, right? Again, it's not going to work very well if there's 5 people in the group, because then you're basically at the whim of these 5 people, and anything they ask, you have to answer because there's only 5 of them, right? So anyway, just think through it. I feel like the advice I've given you with building out some bigger programs, and first building out the $500 programs from which you will go to the next step, and getting paid for what you develop is my best advice. Get paid for what you're developing. Don't do all the work and then hope that people show up. If you follow what I've told you how to do, all you need is a 2-hour sit down. What do I love? What am I good at? What could I do a 5-hour, what could I do a 5-week program on? And what would that look like? Wireframe, wireframe. All right, so it's going to be this when and if I get people in it. Now I'm going to do a Vishuddha talk, which is delivering value. I'm going to talk about this amazing program. I'm going to have a page for people to sign up. And there you go. You know, if you get paid and if you get people to sign up, then you're hired. And then you have that asset. You have that that class that you can then start using as a funnel into your other programs and or as a value add for your other programs. You know, all the stuff that I've done over time, some of it I'm never going to host again, but it doesn't mean it wasn't awesome. And it doesn't mean that people that were in it weren't like, oh my gosh, I loved it. That's great. And now I can use that as bonus material in whatever it is that kind of makes sense along with it. So you're never going to waste your time, provided you get paid to do what you're doing. And I don't think those membership-based programs, people are getting paid well enough, given what they're giving. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Let's see. Someone unmuted 2005.
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't mean to. Hi, how are you?
Bennett.
Hi, Bennett.
I'm great. Hi. I'm in and out because of where I'm driving.
Okay.
So
no worries.
I'm enjoying it.
Very good. And I'm so excited to get your love notes, your texts. And I don't mean love notes like that. You know what I mean. Guys, Bennett's just been on fire with creativity surging through, and he's got a lot of like motivation for the things he's going to do. He's moving full steam ahead. But how great is that, guys, that I feel like this course helps you birth creative ideas to where it's like, oh my gosh, I could do anything. So I'm hoping that's the same for everyone, but he's been communicating some really cool stuff. So yeah, welcome. Glad you're here.
Me too. Thank you.
All righty, so good. Let's see, does anyone have anything that they want to talk about, anything they're confused about, anything they're frustrated about? Let us help you share the load, you know, spread it out, smooth it over, talk it out. Sarah.
Yeah.
Hi. Uh-oh. Sorry, love. I think I unmuted you and then muted you again.
Okay.
We're good.
I said I've gotten caught up in the overwhelm of the techie stuff of getting it all, because I'd put a poll out there. Someone, what would people want, like a 7-day transformation or a 21-day? And most people are going for the 21-day. I'm like, oh my God, that was more than I was ready to start with. It's me having to, build my own confidence back and putting myself out there. And it's been scary for me, where I'm still working through my stuff from my traumas. And then I'm just so excited now that, I'm finally certified and all these things. I'm like, I'll admit I've been beating myself up because, I was ready to launch a program in December and I got sick, and I was just like, I'm allowing myself to block myself, and I'm just like, I'm doing my best not to beat myself up. That I know that it'll be birthed when it's the right time. Yeah. Because I tend to like to push things before it's time for its arrival.
That's good. I would say do that. I feel like we're so used to being perfectionists in our society, where we have to think that everything we have to be ready and prepared, and now we're ready to do this. No, I don't work that way. I used to be uber perfectionist, and then I realized I'm going to just sit here wasting away, waiting for the perfect time to do something. I'm just going for it. And you just kind of got to go for it, throw it out there, give yourself a deadline by saying you're hosting this class in 4 weeks or whatever it is. Once you start saying like that's going to happen to the public and people sign up, well, boy, you have to deliver. So I say just leap in and go for it. And get out there. And I wouldn't spend a lot of time surveying what people want, what people don't want. What do you want? What do you want to do over the next? Do you want to do 7 days? Is that going to be better for you? Do 7 days. What do you want?
Yeah, because that was going to be me more be able to dip my toes in and feel confident, and then you kind of can work out the kinks of the techie stuff of what did I need to learn more about, because that's the thing I would have launched before. It's just I got caught up. I didn't have the landing page, and how did I, if they signed up, then where does that go, and how do I know, and how do they pay? And it's just like
yeah. Well, hopefully
so
that's
I kind of did this direct.
Yeah, guys, it's gonna once you do it once, it's all gonna make sense. And you're gonna go, oh my gosh, and it's duplicable, right? You could just be like duplicate. And I'm telling you guys, I've done so many Vishuddha talks and into programs that it takes me maybe 3 hours from start to finish to conceive of a Vishuddha talk and launch it in entirety. So it's going to get easy, I promise. And if you don't like doing any of it, hire someone to set up the basic components so that all you have to do is duplicate, right? Okay, duplicate. Why recreate the wheel? Was that you, Kelly, who was trying to say something? Did you did something? No. I'm gonna unmute you because I thought I saw some action on one of the screens coming from your area. Oh. What the heck?
I was just saying, I'm just like, do it, because that's what we do. We get stuck up in our head, and like even myself, I'm like this thought, and I'm like, you're right. I just got to go out and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question for you, like, because I'm not certified yet, and I actually haven't even started my certification, and yet, like, I want to incorporate the Anahata codes into like something that I'm doing here locally, and then like I want to incorporate into my offer. Are you comfortable with me doing that and then start doing my certification process?
No, you definitely need to be certified if you're going to make money from it. If you're not making money from it, by all means, if you're going to be like doing things for people and it involves Anahata codes, absolutely. But if you're actually saying, as part of my transformation, we're going to be, using assisting frequencies or whatever, you do need to be certified first. But I'll tell you, girl, it's like the same thing. it's like the fear, it's the energy we spend worrying about doing it is far worse than actually doing it. Because if you go to the member center and you say, okay, here's the form, and I only need to fill this out 20 times, you can find people, you can, you know, do 5 of them on animals, you know, right? Get out there, get a few people that you know and love and do them real quickly. It doesn't take a lot of time. I had one gal who got certified within, I think it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 3 weeks. Does that sound right?
And can you do it on a business? Can you do it on a business?
Not for Anahata Code certification, because I don't have it set up that way. It's like, you know, what are the complaints? What's the severity? And that would be a lot of intuitive work that isn't really measurable at this juncture on my form. Okay. Not that you couldn't measure it, that it's just not capturable. Okay. And so it might end up taking more time than it would just to have someone. You could choose someone who works at the place. But it's interesting you say that, because the Grid for Gaia masterclass series that I just hosted, the certification program from that does involve doing codes for a place. So it sounds like you're ahead of the curve and you're going towards that already, which is amazing, because that's actually what you do in the Grid for Gaia. And I have long seen successful women doing this for businesses, kind of like a feng shui for business, but on a crazy cosmic level that no one even understands how it's working, because it is an energetic entity, a business. And so to be able to go in and provide assisting frequencies for the break room and this room and that room and this person specifically who's a troublemaker, you know, holy cow, you would have this really awesome, it's needed, because I've been in corporate America and it's like a big dysfunctional family, quite frankly, right? So I think you could really do well doing that, but no, not as part of the requirement unless it's Grid for Gaia. So, hello, I see a little head over there. How are you? How awesome. Very cool. What's his name?
Holly.
Oh, sorry.
It's Max. Say hi.
Oh, hi, Max.
Say hi.
Hi, Max.
Those are my friends. Say hi to my friends.
Nice to see you, bud. All right, we'll put you
He's
on
finally
the spot.
feeling better.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Mia, go ahead.
I did want to just share a couple of things with the group. So I was hired as a consultant to work with the business, Kelly. So that has been going extremely well, as a matter of fact. And that's not one that was on my radar. But I had been working with him on energetic healings and using the Anahata codes as well. And so he is a CEO of a company in Orlando, and he asked me to come in and consult in his business and actually build in the Anahata codes in his PR materials and everything.
Oh my
else. So
goodness!
That's been really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually been way more fun than what I was doing.
Good.
So
See?
I also built it into a new contract, like a multi-million-dollar contract he was working on, and that he anticipated going very poorly. And it kept going downhill. And so he brought me in and we did codes within the contract. And not only did he land the contract, but he landed 2 other contracts that were also affiliated with those contracts. So, yeah, so I think I have a new business as well.
Oh my gosh.
But I also wanted to, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to change the subject, so you can.
Okay, good, because I want to get in there before we change the subject. I want to make sure that people understand that it's them that has the power. The assisting frequencies is them. It's not the codes. It's not you're hiring some witch to come in and it's woo-woo and now it's like this is going to happen. It's the actual, oh my gosh, we need that. Wouldn't that be great? And so it is. They're the connection. Now, of course, you don't want to go out and say that, because then they'll be like, well, then why do I need you? Exactly. But how cool is that he was able to undo those blocks and activate the assistance and have the confidence and just be like, this is happening. Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, it's been fun. I will share one other one that I've been working on. So I did a mastermind on both, you know, how to not only recognize, but strengthen your inner voice and your intuition. And then also did a mastermind on balancing your masculine and feminine. And that was kind of my way to begin to dip into the whole attracting your soulmate or twin flame. And, you know, that one went really well. So I'm a little bit more encouraged to be in the middle of that medicine and also share with other people that medicine. So I needed that little bit of confidence. But I did that with a partner. Oh, and also I was also doing, you know, my meditation. So I do anxiety and grief and stress meditations, especially with the village population here. And so I've been doing this with another partner, and she does a lot of, you know, oral, you know, works with people on oral sex and all of that stuff. And so she's really approaching it through some tantric sex and that sort of thing, getting very familiar with your, yeah, with your sexuality. Well, I didn't anticipate when I introduced her to the villages that they quickly they were not interested in me. They were very interested in learning the art of oral sex. And I'm like, all right, be careful about who you partner with.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And I'm not talking about young 67-year-olds. I'm even talking about the 80-year-olds. So,
wow.
But you know, still, it's actually been going well.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Wow. Yeah. So, just kind of dovetailing on that, isn't it great that we get to teach whatever floats our boat? And I really want to also tell you, you don't need to be an expert at anything. In fact, if there's something you want to learn more about, teach it. That's the best way to actually learn more about it. If something is like, man, I need to get my crap together around such and such, do that. Teach a master class. Then you're getting paid to sort your shit out. Sorry for swearing. But do you see what I mean? It's like, holy cow, why not get paid for your bliss? That's what I really have been acknowledging lately, is that yes, it's a mirror and you teach what you need, but wow, we have this whole new way to build an economy around servicing your own desire for knowledge and asking for the answers and then telling people what you found to be true. And so how exciting that whatever floats your boat, you know, Mia just said it's so much more fun than what she used to do. Awesome, guys. Follow that trail of desire. If there's something that you're working through that you're just like, I need a solution to this, turn it into a class. I'm serious. It's the structure is there. All you need to do is wireframe what it is you're going to be talking about and have faith to know that you will be brought the answers to what you want to talk about, because it's the law of attraction. You've asked for it. Case in point, my Grid for Gaia class, it was a ride, guys. It was a ride. It was like so exciting for me to be on this journey and want to know more about grid work and to ask and then allow and just have all the information come to me a mile a minute. It was like this huge experience that I highly recommend. And I think I got paid close to $9,000 for that first little class series that I think there was almost 30 people, 29 or so, at $300 a pop. So my point is, I didn't have anything done. I just knew that I wanted to learn more about this, and this. And then I opened myself up to receive the information. And you can do that too. Your bliss can actually be your business. You can decide you want to be an expert in something. Offer a masterclass. No one cares that you are or aren't, 20 years in that industry. They just don't. So And we have our secret weapon of Anahata codes to make anything super interesting. You can always divide it out into a 7-day program, a 21-day program, however you want to work it out, and get assistance using the codes surrounding the topic that intrigues you the most for that, your medicine for the moment. So I hope you guys, feel that too, that excitement that you're never going to stop expanding and that things are going to catch your eye and you're going to be interested in learning this, that, and the other. And guess what? Now you have a method to monetize it and to truly be living your bliss, making a difference in the world, talking about the things that you're passionate about. It's exciting. So I'm really excited for you all. And how cool, Mia. Congratulations on that. That sounds fantastic. Okay. Sarah, I will unmute you, darling.
So,
go ahead.
So I know it's off subject than what we're talking about, but like I didn't comment back where you had commented on my post about the jewelry, because that, to me, I guess my mind didn't even see it funneling in as like an approach, like a Vishuddha thing. It's just, that's something I'm passionate about. I love doing. And now everyone that have gotten to like, sweetheart, you're just not charging enough for the amount of time and what you're putting into it. And it's still, I guess, that old mindset of mine that I'm doing it because I love it and I know it's making an impact and it's not about the money. People are like, but Sarah, you're putting out a lot of time and energy. You've got to be compensated for it. So that's why it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to wave the flag and be like, all right, I need some feedback. How am I not seeing this? How else could I approach it? And then like I shared where in this other group I posted, the one person suggested charge $333, and I was just like, whoa. I don't even feel comfortable doing that because I wouldn't pay that because that's just something. Not that it wouldn't be valuable to me right now. That needs to be directed to bills and stuff. So that someone says, well, don't charge something if you're not willing to pay that price for it, because that kind of shows where you see value in it. Others have suggested.
I don't agree with that because not everyone has money. Or at least make sure you're understanding that you would if you had $300 is my point. If you had to decide if you were going to buy it today, don't make that decision based on that because you may not be in a position to do it. The point is not the money, it's the value of the money. It's the energy it represents. If you had $300, would you, extra, right? Would you trade it for something like that? That's what they mean. I don't think they mean, would you pay for it like right now? Because that's really hard to say at any given moment who has an extra $300 to spend on a piece of jewelry. I don't go around doing that. So, it's in the eye of the beholder. But I think, Mia, did you unmute yourself? Were you going to say something?
I did. So Sarah, do you embed codes into your jewelry?
That's something that, I'm wanting to. Because see, why I made these other ones, I wasn't certified yet, so I couldn't. Okay. And so I was kind of like, so I had transitioned. Now that I increased the price because I wanted to do the higher self, because I'm kind of like, people are like, but where did you pull all the different components? And see, that was part of the higher self reading that cost more. So I thought, let's do away with the less expensive. And now I'm wanting to infuse the codes, and that's going to take more time. So that means the price will increase. I would like every necklace to always be infused. They could either just let me find what they're needing based on what came through on the higher self, or they could put out, I'm having issues with these things and find the codes. Because I told those who have bought them in the past, being that I've got a picture of the necklace, I can infuse it with energies. They just have to pay an extra fee. So that's how I've kind of set it up for now. But yes, that's my hope to get them infused, because I've just been chomping at the bits, waiting to do stuff, and then I'm certified, and then I'm like, I'm frozen.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what I give for gifts. And I'm telling you, people love when they're like personalized to them. And so I personalize them, based on, if it's a birthday gift or whatever kind of gift it is. So good job. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it's just trying to set up the right pricing, because others have said sell it as the reading, and then that the necklace comes, holding the energies and anything it's infused. And I like that idea, but I was like, to me, it starts with the connection with the person, then the necklace comes about, and then the reading is generated from the necklace. Because the thing is, after I make one, I'm kind of just in an altered state. Then I'm like, oh, wow, this is pretty amazing. And, I get into why, the different sequences of numerology and the colors that were used and which crystals wanted to be used. And then that's how the report reading comes about. So, yeah. And I tell people it takes, anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, like these last ones, because where we had the full moon, woo! One person's, it was wanting to be completely redone. I'm like, oh my God, and that one was my biggest one I've ever made. It was over 300 beads, and I was just okay, let's sit on this for a minute. So I messaged her, and she was going through a lot, and I said, now I understand why. Because the necklaces, let me grab the one I have, there's a masculine and feminine side, and I've already mailed hers, but hers was way off balance. Like her feminine was actually 20 beads more, and so when you have the different sequences, it was making them like line up like this, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not working. Who's going to want to wear a necklace that looks like that? But after she went through whatever transition, I got the necklace out and it lined up perfectly. And I was like, okay, that gave me total cold chills. How did that happen? But it made sense based on what had come up and why there was the imbalance in the energies. So to me, it's been a constant learning curve. But I just want to put it out there as much as possible. So it can benefit people, because I do enjoy them. And people are like, yeah, you seem very passionate about it. And it's just a way that I can bring in the crystals and other stuff that I've been using all these years in my therapy, but in a whole new way. It was just not knowing what was a fair price. People are like, well, you can set that. It was more I was seeking ideas. Wait, you're muted. Holly.
Okay. Sorry, my dog was distracting me. Isn't she adorable?
Merlin.
Oh, hello, Merlin. Say hello. Say hello to everyone.
Hey, Merlin.
Yes. So sweet. Oh, she's so adorable. She's the most lovey dog I've ever encountered. She's always wanting to be held, and she's so cute. So anyway, Sarah, my advice, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all, because I know you can appreciate me being direct and to the point, would be not to ask anyone what they pay for it. Don't ever ask, what would you pay for this? Because they don't know how to answer that. What I would do is I would keep doing what you're doing and having this inventory of awesome journeys. As you said, you do this creative process and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And then suddenly the owner comes along. And that's part of your medicine, to have this inventory, right, of stuff that's already done. Then I would do a Vishuddha talk. And I would maybe phrase it as like something to do with a talisman or like a shamanic journey of sorts through this, through the way that you construct your jewelry. I would do your Vishuddha talk about your jewelry. Come learn about how I infuse da 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 da. And so if people are interested in that, chances are after you're done telling them about this exquisite journey that they're going to go on, and how the jewelry is going to call to them through what you've already done, and that it's going to be a perfect match, and that you're going to pull codes and cards and whatever else you're going to build into what you do. Suddenly you kind of have a mini program. By the way, it's $2.99. Isn't that a deal? And people are like, oh my gosh, yes, I want this beautiful piece of art that's going to also change my life. So I would set your price point independent of others. Definitely don't ask your clients how much they pay for it, because then they're going to tell you, you know.
I'm not asking the clients. This was, I just asked in 2 groups for other healers.
Oh, they're your clients. They're your clients.
Oh, I know.
So don't ask your clients. But I would host a talk. I would host a talk about it. I would get some orders going, and you'll already have, you know, some of them already done, so that they can speak to you based on if it's been created yet or not. But yeah, I would still funnel them through and build the value through a free talk, a Vishuddha talk that explains the magnificence and the value of what it is you're offering, and then you can charge whatever you'd like.
Okay.
So
yeah, because that was just me. I needed ideas because I guess where I do get caught, I can't say it. I put myself in a box, and sometimes I can't see, even though I can do it for others. I'm just like, okay, because I normally don't like to ask publicly like that of groups, because I feel like then the energy gets muddled and you get interfered by everyone else's. But spirit and my higher self was just like, do it, because to me it was part of me healing something within me. So that's why I did it. And I mean, I've gotten some decent feedback. Others, have kind of criticized me, but that's not me, it's them. But so I did it. Yeah, because I would love, I had someone else say, why don't you just make some? And I guess my mind was only thinking, oh, they're to be made specifically for that person. But where you just said, it accused them.
Yeah. Well, everything is happening for a reason on a much more higher realm, right? They're going to be called to the certain jewelry that you've already made based on what they're asking for. So it doesn't much matter if you make it after or before. Or maybe do both, right? Have the option. Just have a bunch of them, knowing when this client hires you, you're going to essentially be commissioned to create their piece. And you can decide then if it's one that's already been created or if this is calling for a unique situation. But I would still absolutely do a Vishuddha talk, funnel them through, and make it more about a package where they're going to have this jewelry as part of it versus who wants to buy my jewelry, right? That would be a little harder to find clients that way. So you'd be surprised when you start talking about, come learn over an hour how I infuse, jewelry with assisting frequencies that also speak to, your journey of life or whatever it is you're talking. People are like, well, I want to find out more about that. And then they come listen. For an hour, and you explain your process, and people are suddenly like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, I want one. So yeah,
because I thought the package would be packaging it as a reading, and then you've got your healing tool, because I like to refer to it more as a healing tool, because I send a thing with it saying this is not just a piece of jewelry, this is a healing tool, and it is to be respected as such. Because the thing is, my pendant that's got the painting image in it, that's infusing its own energies into the necklace, and so if you can start infusing the codes and other stuff, it's just going to be powerful. Because people say when they put them on, I said treat it as you do any other healing tool. Ease into it, because one put it on and the necklace exploded, and they sent me a bag of all the crystals back. And the thing was, when I put it in the mail, I saw it exploding, and I messaged them as such. They're like, sorry, Sarah, I didn't get your message till after it exploded within 20 minutes of them putting it on. Oh my
gosh. That's hilarious.
And she said it was just, she said beads went everywhere. I was like, holy crap. So, and others said that they haven't taken it off. It's helped them really have the confidence. This was another healer. They said it's helped them not be affected as an empath by everybody else's stuff. It helped them stay healthy. And another one was like they were scared of it. They put it on, and they said it's like they were vibrating so high that they'd have to take it off when they had to do live stuff. They said that they couldn't go out in public unless they had it on, because it helped them stay in their own high vibe.
Now, one thing to keep in mind with your Vishuddha talk, if you choose to start doing this, is you do still need to get specific on their pain point. Okay, so when you're inviting people to your talk, it can't just be a necklace that's going to be infused. You have to decide, am I going to go out and help 5 people who are looking to beat their depression? You know what I'm saying? Like, focus in on a specific thing that it is, get their attention that way. Am I going to be helping someone through migraines? Am I going to be helping someone attract their match? Whatever it is, you got to be specific, so that they go, I want to learn more about that, and then they will purchase. If you make it too broad, I think it will get lost in the noise again. But the cool thing is once you have one talk done, you can adjust it to the next, and you can adjust it to the next, and the next, and the next. In the similar way that I'm doing with the How to Build a Wellness Vortex. Right now, I'm angling it towards chronic disease, but in the future, I may be doing for relationships, or I may be doing one for finding joy, or I may be doing one for pain, etc. So just keep that in mind, though, when you are trying to get them to show up to your talk. But then you're going to have like a stamp, and you can just keep doing it over and over again to service different needs. And then you could be known as the lady who does whatever, you know, these amazing talismans or whatever you want to call them. What are you going to call them? Necklaces? That's the other thing we can brainstorm later.
Well, yeah, because mostly, like I said, I refer to them as a healing tool, but it's
healing tool.
But it's, you know, it's incorporating the color therapy, crystal therapy, numerology.
Yeah.
Because there is a little bit of a name on the information sheet I send them. But yeah, I feel like it needs a particular name.
Yeah.
And I guess that will be part of the package type thing.
Yeah, ask. So ask. First step, whenever you have a question, ask. You'll get the answer. No, seriously. Be like, okay, what should these be called? Right? I had the same thing when I was wondering what the heck to call Anahata codes. Ask, and you will receive the answer.
Yeah, because that's how. I was gonna say that's how the painting name, because it was transcending the crystalline matrix.
Yeah.
And that just came just like that.
There you go. There you go. Very good. Okay, I think Roberta has something to add and/or another topic to talk about. Are you there, Roberta?
Hi, yeah, I am. And both something to add and something to mention.
Okay.
I put myself in a place where I go into some place like I don't know if you have a venue where you have your things on display or available, or if you do psychic fairs or anything like that. But I love going to metaphysical stores where they have crystals. It's kind of like I love doing that. And I also have other sources that are more personal where I go and have access to certain things. Mm-hmm. But if I went into some place like that and saw a necklace that drew me, or some kind of jewelry that drew me and had a description of its purpose, mm-hmm. that would attract me. But if there was a brochure or something there as well that said free workshop on description on how to personalize and empower your healing, and or empower yourself through healing through these crystals,
yeah,
or whatever, I would go. And if you talked about what you put into those necklaces, mm-hmm. what's involved in them, and how they can be personalized to me, it would be something I would want to invest in. It would be an investment. Yeah. And I think that you could probably really go from there to going to personalize things at a much higher price than you would have on, say, a display necklace for depression, that kind of thing. And that could actually be a Vishuddha business.
Yes, yeah. I agree. And you know what, Roberta, it reminds me of this vision that I had of someone, could be you, Sarah, I don't know, hosting Vishuddha workshops, creating your own talismans, right? So you're provided with the beads. So this could in fact be your whole business, is you host these, you've seen those wine and paint parties or whatever. This would be, you come and you have your beads, and Sarah, the facilitator, teaches you how to pull the codes that you need and put them in to the beads and string them, and suddenly it's this huge, crazy awesome workshop where everyone's crying and just like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. But you do take custom orders, and you do help, for $4.99 you do a reading and a I'll choose them for you, etc. So yeah, I could definitely see that being kind of a springboard into really limitless stuff that you could do.
Yeah, because when you said that, that gave me tingles, because that was something I was already seeing, is kind of having like a beating party, and people would create their own, and then I would take it and give them a reading based on what, because I want to help people tap into their own intuition, you know, because that's something I'm having to relearn, to trust my intuition, where I allowed, you know, because of my abusive situation, to lose trust. So I thought that would be a perfect way to help others regain their trust, or learn to listen and make their own necklaces. Because how empowering is that?
That'd be
like,
awesome.
I created this because I listened, you know?
Yeah. And it works for everyone. It works for everyone. They can pull a code. You can teach them how to do that live. You can, you know, and then, you know, and then have your own custom price if someone just doesn't want to do the workshop and they just want to hire you. But as Roberta said, it will be a premium price at that point. So I love it.
Yeah, because I'm supposed to, thank you, Roberta. And I love how you said about conferences, because I'm supposed to be doing the Coptic conference in April. So I was going to go ahead and already make some necklaces like I did last year, but they're going to be so much more expensive than last year's. And that's where I could funnel and let people know about the class. Let's come make our own. There's a local. See, this is what I needed when I put out the SOS. And I know I had to make my stepping stones of asking the wrong people. Not that they didn't give me some value, but this is ultimately what I needed to help me take all my millions of ideas and narrow it.
Awesome. And I'll let you know if anything comes as far as a name. We're asking Jesus for a name. We need a name. So I'll let you know if Jesus whispers anything in my ear about what it should be called.
I'm kind of getting follow me down a shamanic journey to you is kind of what I'm hearing in the background.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so does anyone have, Roberta, I've lowered your hand. Are you up again?
Yeah, I'm up again.
Okay, go for it, love.
Okay, first of all, I just love, Sarah, how you just come alive when you're talking about your necklaces. I mean, that is your passion. You just like shine.
Yeah.
So I feel like you really, this is a direction you're being pulled into that's going to really work for you.
Yeah.
But the one comment I wanted to make, in addition to what I said to you, Sarah, was on this whole class, I wanted to say this before we finish, but this whole class has been so valuable because of everyone being able to be vulnerable and share who we really are. Sorry.
Let it out, my love. Let it out.
And to really see the growth. And my tendency is not to share. My tendency is not to want to be out there. And Kelly, I really get what you said about not wanting to be seen, because the one time I let myself be on video, it took weeks to get over it. And I still don't like it. It's kind of like this emotional trauma, you know? But people willing to be able to get over their fear, people being able to, embrace their shadow and sort through their shit, you know, get out there and be there, and to be part of a group that's been willing to go through some really tough stuff and face your fears and acknowledge problems and not be ashamed of who you are in your story. It's been powerful for me. So just thanks, everyone. And thank you too, Anahata.
Oh, I love you, love you, love you. That says it all. It really does. And guys, I really think that, you know, your mess is your medicine. I say it all the time, but it truly is your medicine. It's why we're here, to experience pain and to work through it for the highest good, to birth things that would have never been birthed because of it. And so when we can help each other with that, it's in such hot demand, your precise vibrational assistance, not when you're ready or when it's now. So go out there, use these tools to just plan and execute. Just go out there. You're going to fail, by the way. It's not going to just be like, oh my gosh, you know, millions of people signed up and now I'm a millionaire. You're going to fail a little bit, but every single time you fail, you're going to be able to take that juice and those lessons to not only learn what it is from the lesson, but to have the desire for more. So in that way, you know, if we woke up tomorrow and you had $80 million in your bank account, would you be motivated to change the world? Perhaps not, right? It is through our pain and our yearning for security, for acceptance, for value, for overcoming our fears, for all the stuff that we go through as human beings that are actually pointing towards our flaws. That is what's motivating us into greatness, into being who we came here to be. And every level of greatness, there's people under there that need you. And I don't mean under as in below. I mean, they're in that, right? They're there. They're like, oh my gosh, I need help. And so you're going to now, through this program, have the ability to find your bliss, deliver it, and actually make revenue being passionate about who you serve. And that can change next week, next month, next year, whatever it is. It's your mess for now, and it's your medicine of the moment. And now you have a container from which to birth unlimitless volumes of transformation that people are waiting for. So I'm just so excited for all of you, if anything, to just get over yourself, right? And to stop making it about you and start making it about everyone else that's waiting for you. And now hopefully you have a clue as to how you can do that efficiently and without a lot of extra failure, because no one wants that. That can beat you into the ground. Oh, and thank you so much, Roberta, for being so vulnerable in front of all of us. It reminds me, the other day, I had a friend post. She's a dear friend of mine, actually, from high school, who owns her own wellness center in the most unlikely of cities in Colorado. It's just like, you know, homeless people on the street and a lot of not so great stuff happening. And here she is in this mecca called The Ceremony. And I just adore her. Anyway, my point is, she was typing, being vulnerable. She said, oh my gosh, I swelled up with emotion while I was delivering this meditation. And she said, I had to like really control it because I didn't want to ruin the presentation. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm just learning more and more that that is the medicine, is your emotional response, whatever it is you're in at the moment. So for you to be so vulnerable, Roberta, and just cry is so beautiful to me, and it adds so much, it fills my heart with so much joy that this program has been that valuable to you, and it kind of solidifies our tribe as a true family. And so thank you so much for bringing that medicine just then. All right, so let me see here. We do have about 8 minutes left. Does anyone have anything on their heart that they want to talk about, that they're still confused about, perhaps? Uh-oh, I think I muted you. Mia, are you unmuted for a reason? No?
No.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. I think I did the wrong button here. Sorry, guys. And I think, Roberta, were you trying to speak again?
No, I should be muted.
Okay. Sorry, I just heard feedback and wasn't sure. All right, so I'm going to mute you, darling. Let me know. Raise your hand if you need to be unmuted. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about? I'm going to give you like 30 seconds of silence while I go let my other dog in, to think about anything at all that you want to talk about.
Roberta, I wanted to thank you as well, but a few of us are empaths, and boy, we felt that one. But I definitely appreciated that. You're so loved.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, and I can't wait for when we can actually come together in like a workshop setting in an exotic location where we're all living our bliss biz, and we can come together and celebrate, let's say, a week in Hawaii or whatever, or on a cruise. Me and I are talking about the cruise workshops that we're going to be doing because, you know, this is great. We're digitally here, but how cool to be with people and experience that energy and be with people and make mad progress in like short amount of time. This is transformation on like speed, like woo, right there. So I'm just looking forward to all of these journeys that we get to be a part of together as we build our businesses into whatever platforms float our boat. You know, whatever we decide, whether it's online exclusively or in person or a little bit of both. Now we've got the vision to be able to get it done. So I'm really, really excited about it. See, and guys, part of transparency with this is putting my money where my mouth is in terms of I wanted to solidify the steps in my mind so crystal clear to, you know, duplicate what it is that's successful for me. And so what better thing to do than to host a Vishuddha Mastery 6-month course, right? I mean, I'm just telling you. And I'm by no means an expert, but I'm willing to go out there and explore and to dive in for you and to be your advocate and to go, okay, how can we do this in different ways that perhaps people haven't thought about, or what's working, what's not working. So really, guys, I encourage you to get out of the paradigm of thinking you have to be an expert before you deliver something. And it can also just be something you're working through and that you want to master. The best way to do that is to teach it. So I've enjoyed the journey myself. So that's exciting. All right. So does anyone want to have any final questions, thoughts? Okay. Hold on. It didn't quite work. Unmute. Okay, there we go.
So one thing that was crossing my mind is, you know, we've all been together these last 6 months, but what do we really know about each other? What each person does, what their transformation is? Are they relationships, health, other things? It'd be nice if we could share something and we have either a file in the group that we can all start sharing each other. You might have a client come in and they need relationship. I'll be like, I know the perfect person, could send them to me.
Yes.
And I don't know other ones. That's something we know each other. We've become this beautiful tribe, but what do each of us do? And, we have this perfect person. Like, hey, I can recommend someone to you. I got your contact, have their contact information, phone number, email, website.
We have that directory from the beginning of the year with everyone's information. Now I will add a column called Medicine for the Moment. And you guys will let me know what it is right now, because it's going to change over time, that you're working on. And then we can keep it in mind and absolutely funnel people towards each other. I think that is an awesome idea. It's good for the wrap up. So if everyone wants to, come with next week's wrap up, knowing, your medicine for the moment. So basically who you serve, the problem you solve, in a nutshell, as one line, understanding that you're a transformation catalyst. And you don't need to provide the details because we'll just keep that in mind. What problem you solve, who you serve, and the problem you solve. That's it. Your medicine for the moment. If you could do that, that would be awesome. And then I'll add it to that spreadsheet. And feel free to adjust as you expand into new territory. Let us know. I will update that. We'll have that rolling information. Thank you, Sarah. I love, love, love that. That was definitely divine timing.
I've been wanting to say it for some time, but I was like, it's perfect now as we're wrapping up because we've all evolved.
Yes.
And gone through so much. And I thought perfect timing as we say, farewell to this part of the journey.
Yep. Well, it's not over yet. We definitely have 2 hours of packed information, and dare I say, exercises even, because I do want to bring this to a full closure and not leave anyone hanging. So it's going to be an emotional journey next week, just a heads up. And it's going to be like a big blanket in terms of finality. So we do have a lot to do next week. Join live if you can. And in the meantime, yes, do send me your medicine for the moment. I'll add it to the spreadsheet. Any closing thoughts or information that anyone needs to voice as we depart? We have 1 minute left. Anyone? All right. Okay. Well, I hope everyone. Okay.
Sorry. I wanted to say,
sorry.
what a blessing. What a blessing this has been to share my Thursdays with all of you all for the last 6 months. I won't get emotional because I looked forward to it.
Yeah.
And you all lifted me up. And you've been my empowerment. I thank you.
This is just the beginning, my dear. This is just the beginning. We're not going to just disappear off into the forest or something to build our empires. We're all going to be in this together. And there's more people joining the next cycle that will be in the actual Facebook group. So the tribe is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're going to be able to, well, I don't want to ruin it. I'll wait till next week when I tell you about the next step. And I promise, guys, I will be gentle on your pocketbook. It's really not about making money. This next phase is about listening to you and delivering what would be most value within my means and capacity while leveraging the group. So don't be frightened that I'm going to be saying, and now for $2,500. Oh, God. But next week I will tell you about the membership, and I'm really excited about delivering that and having us continue on together and evolve together as a unit. All right. Well, love to you all. Does anyone have anything else they want to say? Okay. Go ahead, darling. Wait, did I do it? Boy, I pressed the button and nothing happens. Sorry. Hold on here. Unmute. Press it again. There we go.
I just wanted to say, Sarah, maybe we could do a program on how to ambush empaths and make them get over feeling all of their emotions.
I know, right?
You're killing me.
I know.
I mean, that is a medicine out. It's really difficult to figure that part out.
Yeah, I know.
Love you guys.
I am not sure how I'm going to deal with that. I am a blubbering, I mean, I go all out when I start. I think I cried at the beginning of this journey with you all. And then I was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like apologizing, even though I shouldn't apologize. But at the same time, I know that's going to be one thing that I need to work through, because I get that you shouldn't hold it in. And it's not about holding it in. It's about being able to actually perform, to be able to actually get the words out and be present and effective. So anyway, maybe there should be like a built-in 5-minute cry with everything. But I hear you. It's interesting.
No, what I learned Anahata is that because I was an intensive empath, especially in the beginning when you can't figure it out yet. But I learned to how to become the observer. Mm-hmm. And so when I find that I'm in those situations, like when there's an earthquake or when there's a tsunami or something like that, that you become the observer. And it really does work, right?
I bet. But see, to me, I like to be in that. I like to be in the soup and not be an observer. So yeah, it's a little bit of both, but interesting stuff. So much medicine. All right, my dears, I love you all so much. We will be together once again next week, and love you. Let me know if you need anything during the week, and we'll wrap up next week. It's flown by. I don't know about you, but wow, a lot. All right, my dears, love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.